Start earning money almost immediately with this incredible, simple business model. PLR products. So far, you're either intrigued by all this theory or rolling your eyes because you've heard it all before. Either way though, it's just that, theory. It's time we started putting things into practice. Just before we do though, I want you to consider one more thing. The way you think about earning money online as a business. A paradigm shift, if you will. Because this is where a lot of people who set out to make money online will go wrong. Hopefully, you're less likely to fall into this trap if you're already successful in business, but it still bears mentioning. Because a lot of people will approach online business with a plan to become the next Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs. The web is new, it's exciting, and it's high tech. This is where entrepreneurs are made and huge businesses are born overnight. This is your opportunity to create something truly new, something life-changing, and something that will make you rich while changing the world. Except that's the very worst way to think as you go into this. For every Mark Zuckerberg, there are millions of people who never make it. These are rare, fluke occurrences, and actually they do not represent the majority of the big successes on the web at all. Most of those big successes look nothing like Mark Zuckerberg. They look like you. And they look like your colleagues at work. We've already seen that the web works very similar to the rest of the economy. The money comes from people selling hair shampoo on holidays. And these aren't businesses that are changing lives. These are everyday, regular old businesses. They're also proven, simple, and easy to replicate. They're lower risk. And as a business person, you probably understand them. So instead of trying to transform the way we communicate, how about you just take a business model that you know works and then replicate it? It might sound less inspiring or amazing, but it's also much more likely to help you make lots of money online, because it has done the same thing for countless other people. There's nothing wrong with looking at a business model that works well and then simply replicating it precisely, knowing that it will do the same for us. It's quicker, smarter, and more effective. And in this next section, we're going to take that notion to its most extreme conclusion by literally copying and pasting someone else's business, with their permission, of course. PLR products, the fastest way imaginable to start making reliable income online. The business in question simply revolves around selling PLR products. PLR stands for Private Label Rights, and is a type of license, meaning that you have certain rights when it comes to how you can use the product that you're selling. Specifically, a PLR license gives you the right to A, resell, and B, edit the product. These are normally digital products. Remember, we mentioned them in the last video, which means things like ebooks or online courses. That means you can buy them just once and then resell them as many times as you like to keep making a profit. All you need is the resale rights. PLR products give you that and then goes one step further by also giving you the right to edit the product and make it your own. This is a big deal in the world of internet marketing, and in fact, it's a very regular practice. Thus, you can find plenty of private label rights products that are just sitting there, waiting for you to make money from them. Better yet, the creators expect you to do that, and as such, they have made their products with that use in mind, and they will often provide a ton of extra materials and freebies that you can use in order to do this even more successfully. Specifically, most PLR products will also come with all of the marketing materials that you need in order to sell them. That means you'll get the sales page, the page through which you promote and eventually sell the product, as well as lots of ready-made adverts and even emails that you can send. This massively reduces the work that you need to do and means that you can literally copy and paste the entire business. It's this simple. You find the PLR product that you think will sell well. Then you purchase it, normally for around $100 to $200. And then you get that product, along with the rights to edit and sell it, and with all the materials that you need to start making a profit. And from there, you can then edit the book in order to add your name as the author and perhaps to add your branding to the cover. If you wish, then you can change the title and maybe some of the interior. Then you change the Pay Now button using PayPal so that it will credit your account instead, and then you upload it to your own internet hosting account. Now you can start selling the product with your name on it, and all without having to lift a finger. The best part is that you can choose a PLR product that you know is already selling well, thereby avoiding the scenario where you invest a huge amount of time, money, and effort into a product only to discover that there's no audience out there for it. Your only job is to make sure that people can find the product, and this is where the internet marketing comes in. We'll discuss the countless different ways you can drive people to this product in future videos, but just to highlight one example, you could use PPC advertising. PPC stands for pay per click, and this is a form of advertising where you only pay for people who click on the adverts. If the advertising campaign isn't successful, then you don't pay. So as long as you know how to sell, and you make sure that your sales page is convincing people to buy, you can make tweaks to the one you got free. Then you should be able to convert a high percentage of your visitors into buyers. And if you can do this, then you should make returns on the investment you make on advertising. This is a business that will only take a few hours, if that, to set up, and require a very small upfront investment. Despite all that, it can earn passive income for you, generating money while you sleep, and continue to do so indefinitely. How to quickly profit from a big blog using the best growth hacks. Part 1. Perhaps selling products that other people made was not what you had in mind when you heard about internet marketing. Perhaps you have aspirations of being a successful blogger. Or maybe your plan is to use internet marketing to create a successful blog or website for your existing brand. So how exactly does a blog make money? And how can you get on that gravy train? As we briefly alluded to earlier in this training, the answer is that it makes money by building an audience, and more specifically, a targeted audience. Hopefully, you're now already seeing all the ways that you can make money from an audience once you have it. If you have a successful blog, then you can quickly start to make lots of money from the readers of the blog by using any of the aforementioned business models. Sell them a PLR product, sell them affiliate products, sell lots of affiliate products, or use it in order to promote a service. The best thing about this, though, is that running a blog will also allow you to develop a relationship with that audience and to help them get to know you. If they are regularly reading your advice and ideas, then they should have first-hand experience of just how knowledgeable you are and how useful your advice can be for them. Thus, when you come to sell something to them, they will be primed. When you get to that stage, you are a thought leader, and you'll even find that other brands will want to promote their products through you. This is where people will start to pay you to promote their products, or where you can start getting paid to display PPC advertising. If you run a business already, then you should consider making it your aim to get to this point. Once there, you'll find that a lot more people get to learn about your business and will trust you enough to buy from you. This is the basis of content marketing, one of the most powerful and important types of internet marketing. Why you should always sell and never display ads. Building a huge audience takes time, though. If you're looking for the fastest way to start earning money online and only investing a small amount of your time each week, then creating a blog is not it. Blogs with thousands of daily views are either lucky or they took a while to get to that point. This makes it folly to try and set up an online business and make money purely from PPC, because that's a strategy that a lot of first-timers will try to use. Google AdSense is just like AdWords, except it goes onto websites like yours. People will be willing to pay 20 or 50 cents to show their ads on sites like yours, and Google will help them do that for their share. You might get 10 cents for each click, or you might even get 1 cent or 0.01 cent in some cases. And what's more is that for every 1,000 people who land on your site, you can realistically expect to get 1 to 5 clicks. The point is that it will take you a long time to reach a point where you can make a living from this kind of business model alone. And more important to consider is that when you use this kind of business model, you are positioning yourself at the bottom of the pyramid. Google is paying you to show those ads because an advertiser is paying them more. And that advertiser is only willing to pay Google more because they have a way to earn more from those visitors. Chances are that they're selling them a digital product for several $100s, and you're earning a few cents. If they weren't earning more from those visitors, then they wouldn't be willing to pay you for them. And each time someone clicks on one of those ads, you are losing them as a customer and sending them away from your brand. This is the opposite of good business. Selling your own brand or an affiliate product or service is by far the superior way to earn and to keep people engaged with your brand. Building trust and offering value. So you already have a business, and now you want to add a blog to your website. Or perhaps you're just looking to build your own site so that you can sell a product or service. Unfortunately, here is where a business mind can actually be a bad thing. Because a lot of people think that in order to run a successful business blog to promote a product or service, they have to stay strictly on topic. The same goes for social media. They think they need to write posts about their business, about their product, and about the industry. I've encountered this countless of times. One client I work with had an EPOS software, electronic point of sale, and I suggested they write posts about small businesses, about productivity, and about technology. But they only wanted to write about how EPOS software could save businesses money. Now here's a question you always need to ask. Who is really going to read that? If all you're doing is blatantly promoting your own product or brand, then who is going to want to tune in every day to see what latest thing you're writing about? Instead, you need to ensure you're providing value. You need to give some useful or entertaining information away for free so that people have a reason to keep coming back. Only by doing this can you create an interested audience that you will then be able to sell to. So the best way to be successful with a blog is to write about things that your audience will be interested in. Be consistent and be passionate, and only plug your products and services when the time is right. This will help you to get shares, to find people subscribing to your blog, and more. How to quickly profit from a big blog using the best growth hacks. Part 2. Growth hacks for quickly growing your audience. This all takes time though. Lots of time. And this training is all about making money and being successful at internet marketing in the shortest possible amount of time. So if you want to accelerate your progress and start growing your audience even faster, what do you need to do? One answer is to use growth hacks. These are simple techniques that you can use in order to grow and promote your website that don't involve gradually waiting for it to spread by word of mouth. One of the very most powerful and popular examples is to use something called influencer marketing. Simply, influencer marketing means that you're going to leverage the power of an existing influencer, someone who already has a lot of sway and a big audience in the same niche or a related niche. If you could find a YouTuber who has 500,000 views on every single video, then all you need to do is to message them and get them to mention your website or blog in their next video. If you can get them to do this, then you can potentially generate hundreds of thousands of visits to your website that very day. This can transform the success of your business overnight. Of course, the hard part of influencer marketing is finding the influencers and then convincing them that they should promote you. One way to get around this is to offer to pay them for their time. Another option is to find an influencer who is easygoing and doesn't mind giving you a shout out. Some are just having fun and happy to help. Or potentially, you could offer to do something for them instead. How about working on a project with them? If you have a skill set that you can offer, then you can somehow help to boost their success, and at the same time, they'll be likely to give you a shout out. For example, if you know how to make apps, then get in touch and offer to build them their very own app. In all likelihood, they'll be excited and complimented. And as such, they'll promote the app, which you can then split the revenue for 50-50. If you struggle to get an influencer to listen, then one great strategy is simply to hire them for something. If you can find an influencer who offers any kind of consultation or who sells a product, then order that from them, and they will be obligated to respond to you. Yet another great option is to meet them in person. Once you've actually made contact in one of these ways, then you'll likely find that they're much more inclined to listen and to help you out. It's all about building genuine relationships and connections. Another good option for a growth hack is just to find that perfect route to market. And often if you can create the perfect blog post and promote it in the perfect location, then you'll find that you can get a huge influx of traffic from just a single link. The key is to make your post interesting and unique enough that anyone in a certain subreddit or forum will be sure to want to read it. If you can do this well, then you can generate thousands of clicks, and several of those might be interested to subscribe to your feed or maybe even to order a product there and then. Your super fast guide to SEO. This would not be a training on internet marketing though if we didn't at least touch on SEO. SEO is search engine optimization, which for all intents and purposes really means Google optimization. The idea behind this is that you're making changes to your website and creating links to your website, and in this way, You're going to make your site more likely to show up in the search results when someone looks for something related on Google. Unfortunately, this is not a particularly quick tool when it comes to marketing your site. SEO takes a lot of time, and there is never any guarantee that it is going to be effective. You can put a lot of effort in and still find that it doesn't work. But if you create a systemized approach for your SEO, then you can find ways to speed up the process. For example, by making a new post once a week or even by outsourcing the process. Essentially, Google works by looking for content that matches the search terms that people are looking for. When someone searches for a specific phrase, Google looks for the content in its index and then shows them the sites with the most relevant content. In order to add new sites to that index, Google uses spiders, programs that crawl the web by following links. Google also looks at each link as a testimonial, and the better the site that links to you, the more weight that testimony has. Your aim, then, is to fill your site with high-quality content that Google will see as being relevant, and it is to get the most important and biggest sites to link to you. Once again, this often means working with influencers. Don't try to trick Google. Don't try to spam Google. Don't try to keyword stuff, repeating the search phrase in your content over and over again. And don't pay people to share your links. Google is smart enough to catch you, and you will be penalized. Instead, focus on making your site into the kind of high-quality site that the key influencers will be happy to associate with. Does your brand look as good as the top competition on the web? If not, then you need to work on that. But what you do need to understand is that from Google's perspective, getting one of the right links can completely change the game and is worth countless low-quality links. To get those right links, you need to understand who it is that Google trusts. The answer? Google trusts sites that are authorities. That means .gov domains and .edu. It means older sites that have been around for a long time and sites with recognized brands. If your site gets a link from a site like that, then you will get a much bigger boost in much less time. But what's more is that if you get a link from a site that has a link like that, then you'll still get a very big boost. Consider this a little like degrees of separation. Another tip is to look for sites that Google features in its news section. If Google puts a site there, then that's a very good sign that it trusts that brand. Focus your time on building these links and delivering quality, and your SEO will be twice as effective in half the time. Productivity tips to help you do more work in less time. All of these tips and strategies will hopefully show you that you can be highly effective as an internet marketer in a fraction of the time that it would take to handle similar marketing offline. The web is a powerful equalizer and a great force multiplier. It allows individuals to have all the impact of huge corporations. But while these systems are quick and powerful, you also need to think about how you can optimize and streamline your approach to them. How can you become faster so that you can get more done in less time? There are plenty of answers to this, but largely, it will once again come down to leveraging the power of the internet and using the tools and resources that it presents you with. For example, one thing that you should never underrate is the power of outsourcing to other service providers. If you can get someone else to complete a task for you, then that frees you up time to work on other more important things. Don't be shy to do that. Need to edit the cover of a PLR product? Write blog content? Build a list of potential influencers to contact? Then consider hiring a freelancer through a site like Upwork, Upwork.com, or consider using a virtual assistant who will do nearly any online job for just a few dollars per hour. If you can do this, then you can get a lot of your systems to work for you. Heck, you can even go one step further and use service arbitrage. This means you're going to offer your services as a writer or a web designer for $30 per hour, and then outsource the work to a white label service that will do it for $20 an hour. You just pocket the $10. You can also streamline your workflow by making rules that you follow yourself. This might mean keeping communication overhead to a minimum by not engaging in Skype calls or online meetings. Or it might mean simply finding ways to be more disciplined in the way you approach work. Setting yourself short blocks of time to work in can help, as can using things like the Pomodoro technique. Then there are tools like Asana, Asana.com, that can help with time management, and things like IFTTT, IFTTT.com, that can run your social media for you. Leverage these tools as much as possible to take all the things you're doing every day and to get technology and other people to handle them for you. This is how the busy business person should approach internet marketing, and you'll discover a lot more tips in this in the free resources that came with this training. Conclusion. At this point, you should now be ready to get out there and start learning by doing. If you take only one thing from this training, then it should be that internet marketing doesn't have to take a long time. You can be highly effective in promoting your existing brand or completely new one, and you can even create completely self-automated businesses that will run and even scale themselves while you sleep. It just takes a business mind and a couple of evenings a week, and you can start getting the message out to the entire web. And once you learn how to do that, anything is possible. Employ these techniques, dive in, and good luck.